Data is getting generated every day, every time, and by each one of us. Be it in the form of our banking transactions where we receive and we spend our money, or in the form of videos or things we watch on YouTube, on Facebook, or Netflix, or even our calling records, who we are calling, who we are sending messages to. Everything is data, and it is increasing day by day, and so is the need to analyze that data for the business owners to make better decisions for the business. So data analyst is a career which will be there for a long time and will evolve with time too. And to become a successful data analyst, you don't necessarily need a computer science degree or coding background for that matter. You can learn all the required skills to become a successful data analyst within 3 months. Also, the average salary for data analysts is pretty good too. So data analysts usually earn an average salary of between 70k and 130k, depending on your experience, your skills, and how you perform in your interview. So hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Raminder, and in this video we'll discuss all the skills that you will need to become a successful data analyst within 3 months. So to do data analysis, there are a few operations that needs to be done. Collecting data, cleaning data, aggregating or analyzing data, and then finally visualizing that data. So to perform all these operations, you will need to learn a few applications or need to learn a few skills. So let's talk about all these skills one by one. So the first skill you need is to have an advanced Excel knowledge. Now, no matter how many BI tools come in this world, you cannot take Excel away from any organization. Having advanced knowledge is really helpful and really important as a data analyst. Now, what all do you need to learn in Excel? You do not need to know everything in Excel. What you need to focus on is you need to have good knowledge in Power Query. Now, Power Query is a tool wherein you can record most of the repeating steps one time, and then next time you can run the Power Query and it will do all those repeating steps in your files automatically. So it is really powerful once you know how to use it properly. So as a data analyst, you also need to know functions like VLOOKUP, index, if function, COUNTIF, SUMIF. You also need to be aware of how to make pivot tables, pivot charts, as you will be building dashboards in Excel as well. You should also be aware with basic functionalities like filters, slicers. Now VBA or macros in Excel is a good to know. However, most of the stuff nowadays can be achieved using Power Query easily. So the use of macros or VBA is slowly decreasing day by day. Now the second thing you need to look at is statistics concepts. You do not have to spend heaps of time in learning everything in statistics. However, getting some understanding on the basic topics would be really helpful. Now, topics like arithmetic operations, cumulative sum, weighted average, or basic statistic operations like mean, median, mode are things that you would like to get an understanding on, because that would be really helpful when you analyze your data. Now the third and one of the most important skill to learn as a data analyst is SQL, or otherwise also named as structured query language. SQL is one of the most commonly used language in any data role, whether it is a data analyst role, data scientist role, or a data engineer role. It is used to extract, analyze, and aggregate data stored in databases. In this case, to become a successful data analyst, though, I would recommend to at least know the topics mentioned here in the slide. You should know how to run the select queries, where you would be using these keywords like distinct, where, like. You should also be aware of what all joins are there, how you would be joining your tables, inner join, outer join, all types of left joins. You should be aware of all these joins. You should know how to aggregate your data using group by or having clause, and all these other topics you should be required to know, because they will enable you to analyze your data and bring it in a shape where you can work well as a data analyst. Now the fourth skill is to have knowledge on some of the BI tools. Now there are multiple BI tools in the market nowadays. There are tools like Power BI, Tableau, ClickSense. Now BI tools are becoming more and more popular, as you can visualize data much quicker and in a much better way using those tools. In fact, with most of the BI tools, you can perform all the operations like bringing data, cleaning data, aggregating it, and then visualizing it as well. Personally, if you're starting out, I would recommend you start with learning Power BI, as it is easiest to adapt if you're coming from an Excel background, since it is also a Microsoft product and the use of Power BI is also increasing day by day. As a beginner or as a data analyst, you should at least know the topics that are mentioned in this slide. You should know how to work on Power Query. You should know how to make a data model. You should know how to work on DAX and how you can visualize. Visualization is probably the easiest part, where you can create charts and do visualize your data. But you need to be able to get to that stage. You need to have all the upper things covered as well. Now the fifth skill I've mentioned here is learning Python. Now, is it mandatory to learn Python to become a data analyst? I get this question a lot. I would say my answer is no. You do not need to have Python knowledge to become a data analyst. Having said that, it definitely makes you stand out against all the other people if you knew Python. And also, you can slowly progress your career towards a data scientist role as well, because that is a key skill working in a data scientist role. Now, while learning all these skills, one of the most important thing you need to do is to create projects, is to practice and build projects, sample projects on each of these things. Something on Excel, something on Power BI, and then showcase them as your work portfolio or as the projects that you've worked on in your LinkedIn profile. Now to do that, you need to create a LinkedIn profile where you can highlight your key skills, any internships or projects you have done. Also upload the pictures of your work portfolio that you have created while learning all these skills. Now this is so that the recruiters can see what your strengths are, and they can call you for jobs accordingly. One of the other things you can also do is to connect with other people in the same profession on LinkedIn and learn from their skills. So when they post something, you will be able to learn from their skills as well, and potentially build a rapport with them, so that if there is a situation where a job opening arises in their company, you can ask them for a referral at a later stage as well. So there you go, guys. These are the skills that you will need to learn to become a successful data analyst. I hope this video was helpful. In the coming videos, I'll be sharing resources on where you can learn each of these skills, like where you can learn SQL from, where you can learn Excel from, Power BI from, and I will also be sharing some videos with some of the projects so that you can learn from my videos as well. So if you would like to stay connected to know about those videos, please share this video with others who might find this helpful, and consider subscribing to the channel. Raminder Singh signing off. Thank you.